80% of the people watching this video right now have a financial task they've been avoiding for weeks, maybe even months. And that frog they refuse to swallow is exactly what's keeping their money stuck. Brian Tracy said it better than anyone. If the first thing you do each morning is eat a live frog, you can go through the rest of the day knowing that it's probably the worst thing that will happen to you all day. Look, when Brian Tracy talks about eating the frog, he's not talking about an actual amphibian. He's talking about that one task, the one you know you need to do, the one you know is important, but you keep putting it off because it's boring, uncomfortable, or scary. In the world of personal finance, we all have our frog. And I'm going to tell you something you might not want to hear, but you absolutely need to. Until you eat that financial frog, your money will stay exactly where it is, stuck. Let me ask you something. How long have you been telling yourself you're going to make a budget, that you're going to review your expenses, that you'll finally have that difficult money conversation with your partner? That's your frog, and as long as you keep avoiding it, your financial situation will stay the same. Why do you think procrastination hits your finances so hard? Let me tell you something I've seen again and again. Financial procrastination isn't really about money, it's about control. When you put off making a budget, you're putting off taking control of your future. When you avoid looking at your debt, you're avoiding the reality of how much it's costing you not to act. Every day you procrastinate, the problem grows. Debts get bigger, opportunities disappear, and what could have been a simple solution today becomes a mountain tomorrow. Brian Tracy says procrastination is the killer of potential, and in personal finance, that's literal. Every day you don't act, you're killing your potential for financial growth. But here's the good news. Once you swallow that frog, once you finally do what you've been avoiding, something magical happens. You realize it wasn't as bad as you thought. You realize you have more control than you believed. And more importantly, you realize you can do this. Okay, sounds great. But how do you actually apply the frog principle to your finances? First things first, let's identify the most common financial frogs and how to swallow them once and for all. Frog number 1, create a real budget. If you don't have a budget, this is your biggest frog. And don't give me the "it's too complicated" excuse. A basic budget takes 30 minutes, but you've been avoiding it for months. Do you know why? Because you're afraid of what you'll find. You're afraid to discover that you're spending more than you earn. You're afraid to face the truth about your spending habits. But listen to me. Ignorance isn't protecting you. It's keeping you broke. Frog number 2, reviewing and consolidating your debts. I know so many people with debt spread across 5, 6, even 7 different credit cards, and they've never sat down to calculate the total. They've never figured out how much they're actually paying in interest every month. Do you know why? Because it's painful. I get it. I really do. It's easier to live in denial than to face the truth. But here's the reality. You can't fix a problem you don't fully understand. And every day that passes without knowing exactly how much you owe and to whom, you're paying more than you should. Frog number 3, automating your savings. This one hurts to see the most. People who've been saying for years, "This month I'll finally start saving." And every month ends the same. There's nothing left. Do you know how long it takes to automate a savings transfer? Less time than you've already spent watching this video. But you keep postponing it with excuses like, I just need to get organized first. I just need to earn more. I just need to figure things out. No, what you need to do first is automate your savings, even if it's just $50 a month, because the habit matters more than the amount. Let me tell you about Anna. Anna spent 3 years telling herself she'd review her expenses. 3 years. When she finally swallowed the frog, she discovered she was spending $200 a month on subscriptions she didn't even use. That's $2,400 a year. In 3 years, she had thrown away $7,200. But the worst part wasn't the money lost. The worst part was that, properly invested, those $7,200 could have grown into $12,000, or even $15,000. Do you know how long it took her to cancel all those subscriptions? 1 hour. 1 hour she had been avoiding for 3 entire years. Now, let me tell you about Miguel. Miguel avoided consolidating his debt for 2 years. He had 6 different credit cards, each with its own interest rate, payment date, and chaos. When he finally swallowed the frog, he discovered he could consolidate everything into a single personal loan with an interest rate 40% lower. That meant saving $300 a month in interest. Do you know how long that consolidation process took him? 2 hours. 2 hours he had been avoiding. And those 2 hours had already cost him thousands of dollars. The 21 Frogs Rule. Brian Tracy has a rule called the 21 Frogs Rule. It says that if you swallow 21 frogs in a row, you'll develop the habit of doing what you need to do without procrastination. In personal finance, this is pure gold. Because the biggest challenge is building the habit of doing what you need to do with your money, even when it's uncomfortable. So I'm going to give you a list of 21 financial frogs, and I challenge you to swallow one per day for 21 days. Ready to eat your 21 frogs? Let's go. 1. Make a basic budget. 2. Review all your expenses from last month. 3. Cancel a subscription you don't use. 4. Review all your debts and write them down. 5. Automate a savings transfer, even a small one. 6. Research debt consolidation options. 7. Review and optimize your insurance policies. 8. List all your sources of income. 9. Calculate your net worth. 10. Research basic investment options. 11th, review your bank statements. 12. Negotiate a lower interest rate on a credit card. 13. Create a debt repayment plan. 14. Review and update your risk profile. 15. Research side income opportunities. 16. Start an emergency fund, even a small one. 17. Identify and reduce silent spenders, small daily expenses. 18. Make a plan for your financial goals. 19. Look into retirement savings options. 20. Review and optimize your bank accounts. 21. Create an action plan for the next month. Each of these frogs will take you between 30 minutes and 2 hours. But every single one will bring you closer to the financial freedom you're looking for. The difference between those who achieve financial freedom and those who stay stuck is not knowledge, it's action. We all know we need to make a budget. We all know we need to save. We all know we need to invest. The difference is who swallows the frog and who keeps postponing. And I want you to understand something. The perfect moment does not exist. There will never be a moment when you have all the information. There will never be a moment when it feels easy. The perfect moment is now. with the information you have right now, even if it's imperfect, because an imperfect budget, a small automated savings, or a tiny investment you make today is infinitely better than any bigger plan you keep putting off. I want you to close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. It's 11 at night, you're lying in bed, and instead of stressing about money, you feel calm. You know exactly how much you have, exactly how much you spend, and exactly where you're going. Imagine waking up tomorrow without that financial anxiety you've been carrying. Imagine making decisions from a place of abundance, not scarcity. Imagine becoming the financially confident person you've always wanted to be. That version of you is not a dream. It's the result of swallowing the frogs you've been avoiding. Because here's the deeper truth. You don't have a money problem. You have an action problem. And action is a decision you can make right now. Brian Tracy says that discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs tons. And I'm telling you that financial action weighs minutes, but financial procrastination weighs years. Years of missed opportunities, years of unnecessary stress, years of living below your potential. But today can be different. Today you can decide you're no longer the person who delays. Today you can decide to be the person who takes action. So I'm going to ask you 2 questions, and I want you to answer honestly in the comments. What's the biggest financial frog you've been avoiding? The one you know you need to face, but you keep pushing aside. A second question, are you willing to swallow it this week? Not next month, not when you have time, not when it's easier. This week, your financial future isn't built with big gestures. It's built with small, consistent actions you take even when you don't feel like it. Start today. Start now. Swallow that frog.